The following are the assembly instructions for the Trophy Sniper Gun Drape and Scope Cover. The Trophy Sniper Gun Drape and Scope Cover will fit most standard shotguns and rifles that are mounted with a scope. Some slight differences or allowance may be needed based on the make and model of your gun. First, let's lay out our materials. You should have a 4-foot roll of 3/4 inch wide, double-sided hook and loop tape, 1 gun drape, and 1 scope cover. Make sure the gun is unloaded and the safety is placed in the on position. You should place the gun in or on some type of gun rest. You will begin by wrapping the double-sided hook and loop tape around both ends of the scope, with the soft side against the metal and the hard side facing out. Wrap the tape around the scope as tight as possible and overlap the tape at least 1 inch. Cut the tape to length with a pair of scissors. If the tape doesn't seem tight enough, loosen the tape and reapply the same piece of tape as tight as possible when necessary. Now we begin to place the tape on the barrel, beginning at the muzzle, with the soft side against the metal and the hard side of the tape facing out. The tape may be placed directly over the ventilated rib, because you will not utilize the ventilated rib or the bead when using a scope. All materials must be kept behind the edge of the muzzle, or it will be destroyed when you fire the gun. Wrap the tape as tight as possible and overlap the material at least 1 inch. Cut the tape to length with a pair of scissors. If the tape doesn't seem tight enough, loosen the tape and reapply the same piece of tape as tight as possible when necessary. Place 3 or 4 tapes in the same manner, equally spaced down the length of the barrel until you reach the forestock. The forestock portion of each gun varies depending on the make and model. You may not be able to run the tape under the barrel of the forestock on some pump action models. Some models do not have enough clearance and the tape will not allow the pump action to slide when operating the forestock. However, applying the tape to the barrel of the forestock is not a necessity. Next, you will apply the gun drape and scope cover to your gun. Both the gun drape and the scope cover have 2 rows of soft tape down their centers. Line up the drape so that equal amounts are on both sides of the barrel. Begin at the muzzle and attach the gun drape to the tape on the barrel. Make sure that it is not past the edge of the muzzle. Any materials that are in front of the muzzle will be destroyed when the gun is fired. Keep it aligned and continue to attach it to the barrel as you work your way toward the scope. Guns with a shorter barrel will end up with excess material when you reach the scope. This excess material is simply scrunched up under the front of the scope and left there. Now attach the tape on the bottom of the gun drape to draw both sides together in front of the forestock and under the muzzle. Next, apply the scope cover in the same manner. Always start at the barrel end of the scope and work toward the eyepiece. Scopes that are shorter than 11 inches will have excess material that can be scrunched up over the scope body. Both ends of the scope cover should still be attached to both ends of the scope. Scopes with a length longer than 11 inches will not have enough material to cover the entire scope. Always attach the scope cover to the barrel end of the scope first and cover as much of the scope body as possible toward the eyepiece. You simply need to attach the eyepiece tape further ahead on the scope body to make contact with the scope cover. When you've completed attaching your gun drape and scope cover, your gun should look similar to this. As always, thank you for purchasing Trophy Sniper products. You can reach us at sales@trophysniper.com.